Loomers, Joyce here. Welcome back for yet another one of my Looney tutorials. So today we are going to be making another hook-only bracelet by Kim again, also known as Lovin' Looms. You probably remember the Spy Eyes bracelet we made earlier. And this design was also created by her a long time ago. And as you know from my earlier tutorial, she has since stopped looming, but she has made so many great designs of which there are no tutorials yet. So I will definitely be making many more of her designs in the future. Yay! So I will put a link to her Instagram down in the description box so you can see more of her designs and creations. But it's easiest if you search for it by using the hashtag you see on your screen right now, #LovinLooms. That's the name she was going under when she was looming. So stay tuned till the end of this video because I will tell you all the hashtags and all you can use when you post your creations so that both me and Kim don't miss seeing them, of course. And I will also tell you how you can contact me if you want to make a tutorial, if you want me to make a tutorial for one of your own designs. Okay? Enough prattling and let's grab some stuff and let's get looming. For this bracelet you will need your hook, of course. Now it is easiest to use a double-ended hook, like these ones over here, or I will be using my Looming hook that I finally have from the web shop. It is amazing. It has such a nice deep cup on it, the bowl of the hook on it. That's really excellent for grabbing your band. So yeah, I'm loving my new Looming hook. We will need a C-clip, of course, for closing purposes. And you know, by now I will be keeping my cap band in check and tying it off first with my bestie over here. And we will need some bands. I will be using 4 colors for this bracelet in the same color scheme as this one. Now, as you see, I will be alternating the sections with different color combinations, but I will explain that later for you, of course. Now this design is symmetrical, so that means what we do on the left side, we also do on the right side, okay? Just like we did with the earlier hook-only tutorials you saw. And this design is also a 10-loop setup. So that means that at the start of the pattern, there are 10 loops on our hook. So 5 for one side and 5 for the other. Just don't be alarmed by all the bands on your hook, since we will be doing the exact same few steps on either side of the pattern. So just follow along. The pattern itself really isn't that hard, I promise. And I will definitely lay it out for you again and put the thumbnails up. And I'll go slow and steady so you can just follow along with me. Now remember, you can always pause the video to catch up, rewind to watch something again, and of course you can always speed me up and make me sound like a chipmunk if I'm going too slow for you. I will always put timestamps in my tutorial so you can find certain parts really quickly by clicking the timestamps in the description box below. Okay, that should be it. Are you ready? Let's go! Before we start working on the actual pattern and repeating that, we need to put some bands on our hook first. And I've said it before, all beginnings and endings of hook-only designs are always a bit different from the rest of the pattern. So just follow along and pay close attention. Now, of course, we're going to have to start by putting a cap band on our hook. And I always choose one in the same color as this base color over here. Okay, so we'll call this the base color number 1, and here we have the glitter red, it is base color number 2, and we're going to alternate each section, and in between we have some mid-colored bands, the fuchsia over here, and the gold, see? Okay, so the cap band. To make your cap band, you simply place the band on your hook, give it a twist, and put the other end on your hook. So you have the figure 8 shape, that is your cap band. And of course, as you know, I'm keeping mine in check with my stitch marker over here, so it doesn't move all over the place. And now we can get started on building our 10 loop setup. So that means we're going to be adding some bands on the left side of the cap band and some bands on the right side. The first band we're adding, grab one in your base color. You're going to pull it under both loops of your cap band. And before closing it up, you're going to pick up the loop of the cap band that is farthest away from your hook. And then you close it up. Make sure that these bands stay in the correct order because they always have a tendency to come undone. Okay, so your cap band should be in the middle. Okay. Now grab another one of your base colored band. We're going to do the same process 3 more times. We're going to fishtail these bands on, is what it's called. You're going to pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Before closing it up, you're going to grab the band that's farthest away from you, the loop I mean. And then you close it up, and you're doing this 2 more times. fishtailing it on is what we're doing. So pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook, grab the band that is farthest away from you and close it up. And the last time on this side, pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook, grab the band that is farthest away from you and close it up. And now you have fishtailed on these bands. See, it looks like a fishtail, that's why it's called that. And now we have 5 bands on this side, and this band is a band that already counts for the other side. Okay, so now we're going to slide and turn or pinch and turn, but I highly suggest you use a double-ended hook. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now before we start adding bands on this side, the first thing that we're going to have to do is grab the other end of the cap band that's down here. So we're going to pinch off our first band, take our hook out very slowly, pick up the other end of that cap band that's down there and then close it up. And then we're going to fishtail on 3 more bands because we already have 2 and we need 5, okay? So you're doing the same thing as on the other side. You pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook, pick up the band that is farthest away from you, make sure they stay in the correct order, close it up, do this 2 more times, under the first 2 loops on your hook, pick up the band farthest away from you, oops, band number 1, why won't you come, there you are, and another one, pick up the outside band and close it up, okay? That gives us our 10 loop setup. You see we have 5 bands on this side and 5 bands on the other side, okay? So now that we have our 10 loop setup, we're ready to add our middle colored bands on our hook, and those are the bands that you see poking through here. There are 2 of those in each section. Okay, so I'm grabbing my fuchsia band for this, and you're going to pull this band under the first 8 loops on your hook. So that's a long stretch, and your band will come up between band number 7 and band number 8. Grab a good hold of it. And now we're going to skip band number 8 and you're going to pick up bands 4, 5, 6 and 7. So in the beginning it's always a bit finicky, but that's okay. Just make sure you grab a good hold of that band here and here. So you pick up the middle 4 bands, then you're going to skip band number 3 and you're going to pick up band number 1 and 2. Then you're closing it off. And now you want to rearrange these 2. See, they want to pop over themselves already. Rearrange the first 2 loops over that band you just pulled through. And now you have captured the middle 4 bands. You see? And you drop band number 3 and band number 8, which leaves you with 10 loops on your hook again. Now you're going to pull through another of your middle colored bands. And you're going to pull this under the first 9 loops on your hook. So that's an even bigger stretch. So it's going to come up between these bands here, the outside band, which is a bit floppy. Okay, let's do it. Grab a good hold of it and you're going to pull it under the first 9 bands on your hook. Come up between 9 and 10. And now we're going to go over 2 bands here, and from that middle section where we just picked up those 4 bands, you're going to pick up band number 1 and band number 4. Okay, so band number 4 and band number 1, and then you're going over band number 2 and 3 here again and pick up band number 1, the loose floppy one there, and close it up. And as you close it up, as you can see, that band automatically wants to move to the middle. So just let him, that's where he wants to be. Okay? And now we are going to fold over these 2 floppy bands over here. And to do so, you're going to move everything to the end of your hook carefully. And you're going to fold band number 1 over band number 2 and 3. So over band 2 and 3, it automatically almost wants to go there, you see? Grab a hold of that band. See, you folded it over. Grab a hold of it. You take band 1 and 2. Well, now they're 1 and 2. And you take them off your hook very carefully. Don't let them go. You go over that band you just folded over. And you pick up band 1 and 2. See what we just did? We made a curl going inward. Okay, now let me do that again on the other side. So we have that floppy band over here. We're folding it over band number 1 and 2. Let's just call, well, that's 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 now. I don't know what to call them. Hang on to that band over here that you just folded over. And you pinch off these 2 bands over here. Hang on to them. Take your hook out carefully. Go over that floppy band you just fold over. And put the other 2 bands back on your hook. And there, now we have our curls. See? And that is the end of the section and the pattern already. So it's quick and easy, right? There are just a lot of bands on your hook, but it's not really difficult. Now let me lay out the pattern for you and put the thumbnails up. Okay, so at the end of each section we are left with 4 bands on our hook, right? 4 loops. And we want to build our bracelet back up again to get to that 10 loop setup that we start our pattern with. So that means that we have to add 3 bands on either side on our hook. So 3 bands in our base color is what we're going to add on either side first. You can choose whatever colors you want to, of course. Just match them up with the pattern that I'm laying out for you. Okay? Once we've done that, we're going to add our middle colored bands. I'm using gold here and fuchsia here. You can choose whatever color you want to. So we're going to pull that first one under the first 8 loops on our hook, what we did, and then under the first 9 loops on our hook. And then we're going to fold over those outer floppy bands again. And then we're back to the start and this part here where we have 4 loops on our hook. And that's it. That's the whole pattern, so that shouldn't be too hard, right? I'll put the thumbnails up there. Let's get back to it. Okay, so back to our bracelet, and as I said, we're left with 4 loops on our hook, but we're going to have to build up our bracelet again to get back to that 10 loop setup. So we're going to grab another base colored band. Now I'm switching colors here, but you can do whatever you want to. And we're going to pull this band under the first 2 loops on our hook. These bands can be a little bit tighter than the loose 10 loop setup we had before. And then we're going to pick up band number 1, which should be that mid-colored band from the previous section. Then you close it up and we do that same thing 2 more times. So you pull your base colored band under the first 2 loops on your hook. Close it up. Last time on this side. Fishtail this one on as well. Pick up band number 1 and then we slide and turn everything to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to add our 3 base colored bands. Pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Pick up the band that's farthest away from you, which should be that mid-colored band of the previous section. Close it up. Do the same thing 2 more times. Under the first 2 loops, pick up loop number 1, close it up. And the last time, pull your band under the first 2 loops, pick up band number 1 and close it up. And now we are back to our 10 loop setup, 5 on one side and 5 on the other side. So now we can add our middle colored bands again. And that first band we'll pull under the first 8 loops on our hook, so hang on tight. And you're going to come up here in this sort of natural gap that exists over here. So you pull it under the first 8 loops on your hook, come up over there. Now grab this side with your finger really tight, don't let it go. We go over loop number 8 and we're going to pick up those middle 4 bands again. So 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then we're skipping band number 3 over here. And you're going to pick up bands 1 and 2 and then close it up. And then we're going to rearrange these two bands here, 1 and 2, over that band we just pulled through so that it sits in the middle and that you have captured those 4 middle bands that we want to have. Okay, now the next band we're going to pull under the first 9 loops on our hook. So we're going to come up here before this floppy band. Again, grab hold of that end of the band with your finger, and then we're going to skip the first 2 bands, and from that midsection that we captured earlier, we're going to pick up band number 4, which is hiding a little bit here, and band number 1. Ooh, I almost let it go, you see. And we're going to pick up the outside loop, so loop number 1, the other floppy end. Then you close it up and you let that middle band sit in the middle. So move band number 1 to the outside. And then you have this situation again here. Okay, now we're going to do the Looney part of the tutorial again. So we're going to fold over our outer bands over the next 2 bands. You're going to grab those 2 bands really tightly, take out your hook, go over the band you just folded over, and pick up those 2 bands you're holding on to. Okay, making that curl. Now we do the same thing on the other side. So we slide everything to the other side. That band, we fold that band over those 2 remaining loops on our hook. We grab hold of those loops, take our hook out, go over the band we just folded over, pick up those 2 bands again, and let go. And that is the end of the next section already. So I'm going to repeat the pattern with you a few more times and put a timestamp that says pattern repeat right here. So you can always go back to this point if you want to continue making the pattern together. But if you got it from here, I will see you back when your bracelet is long enough. And you're also at the start of a new section, so I can show you how to finish your bracelet and put your C-clip on. Okay? Okay, so we're back at the start of our pattern. As you can see up there, we're going to add our 3 base colored bands on either side. And to do so, you pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook. Pick up band number 1, which should be that middle colored band of the previous section. Close it up, and you do that 2 more times. Go under the first 2 loops on your hook. Pick up band number 1 and close it up. And the last time on this side, under the first 2 loops, pick up loop number 1 and you close it up. And now we're going to slide everything to the other side and do the same thing over there. So we're going to fishtail our 3 bands on, pull it under the first 2 loops, pick up band number 1 and close it up 2 more times. Under the first 2 loops, pick up band number 1 and close it up. And the last time, pick up band number 1 and close it up. And now we're going to add our 2 middle colored bands again. So that first one we pull under the first 8 loops on our hook. We're going to skip 1 band and pick up the next 4. Hang on to that band tightly. Then skip band number 3 and pick up band number 1 and 2. Close it up. Make sure that that band sits in the middle, so you rearrange. Put band 1 and 2 on the outside. Then another middle colored band. And you pull that under the first 9 loops on your hook. So you come up on the other end right before the floppy band. We skip the first 2 bands. We pick up band number 1 and 4. So that's 4 and that's 1 of that middle section. We pick up the outside band. We close it up and we let that middle band move to the middle where it wants to be. And now we're going to fold over the outer parts again, the floppy bands. You hang on to those 2 bands with your fingers, take out your hook, go over the band you just fold over and pick up those 2 bands again. Slide and turn, do the same thing on the other side. You fold over that floppy band over those 2 bands, hang on to those 2 bands and go over your band you just folded over. Put those 2 bands back on your hook again, and we're back at the start of a new section. So I'm going to switch colors again, and as you can see up there, we are going to add our 3 base colors again on either side. So you pull your band under the first 2 bands on your hook, pick up the outside loop, close it up, do that 2 more times, pull your band under the first 2 loops on your hook, pick up band number 1, close it up, and the last time on this side, you pull your band under the first 2 loops on your hook, pick up band number 1, and you close it up. That's 5 for that side. We slide and turn, and we do the same thing on the other side. So you pull it under the first 2 loops, pick up band number 1, which should be that middle colored band of the previous section. Then you close it up 2 more times. As I said, the pattern itself really isn't that hard, right? Some people get discouraged by the amount of bands on their hook because it is a 10 loop setup. But if you see it like I do, when the bracelet is actually symmetrical and divided in half, it's only 5 on one and 5 on the other side with a few steps in between. Okay, so now we're back to our 10 loop setup. So we're going to be adding our middle colored bands again. And that first one we pull under the first 8 loops on our hook. Come up in that gap over there. We skip band number 8. And we pick up the middle 4 bands. And we skip, oh, I missed one. There we go. We skip band number 3. And we pick up the outer 2. And rearrange bands 1 and 2 over that middle colored band so that you captured the middle 4. And then we're going to pull our next band under the first 9 loops on our hook again. So we come up over there, we skip our first 2 bands, and we're going to pick up bands 1 and 4 of that middle section that we just captured. So that's band number 4 and band number 1, and we pick up the outer band, the floppy band over there, and we close it up. Make sure that that floppy band sits on the outside. And now we're going to do the Looney part again. So we fold that floppy band over those 2 bands. We grab those 2 bands tightly, move our hook over the folded over band, and put those 2 loops back on our hook. And then we slide and turn. And we do the same thing again. Fold that loose band over those 2 other loops. Grab hold of them, move your hook over the band you just folded over, and put those 2 bands back on your hook. Okay, let's do that one more time together. So we're going to add our base colored bands again on this side, 3 of them. So we're fishtailing those on. Pick up band number 1, close it up while my doggy goes for a stroll. Under the first 2 loops, pick up band number 1 and close it up. And again, the last time, pull it under the first 2 loops on your hook and close it up. Now we do it on the other side. We're adding our 3 loops, our 3 bands, I mean. Ooh, oh, I lost it there. See if I can fix that on camera. Oh, there we go. That was exciting. Are we all awake now? Okay. So we pull that band on the first 2 loops on our hook. We grab our first loop and we close it up. 2 more times. You pull your band under the first 2 loops. Pick up the outside band and close it up. And the last one on this side as well. Pick up band 1 and close it up. And our middle colored bands again, the first one always goes under the 8 loops. Hang on tight, skip band number 8 and pick up the middle 4. If I can even grab them, where are you? There we go. Skip band number 3, pick up bands 1 and 2 and close it up. That band sometimes automatically travels to the middle, just let it, and otherwise rearrange it. Our last middle colored band, we pull it under the first 9 loops on our hook. Come up right before the floppy band over here. Skip the first 2 bands and pick up bands 1 and 4 of that middle section over here. So band 1 and band 4. Pick up the outside band and close it up. And now we're going to do the Looney bit again. So we're going to fold our band over band number 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, depends on how you look at it. Take your hook out, go over the folded over band, put those 2 bands back on your hook, and we slide and turn everything to the other side. Fold over that band, grab those 2 bands really tightly, put your hook over the folded over band, and put those 2 bands back on your hook. Okay? So now that we've done a few sections together, I think that you got it from here, and I will see you back to finish our bracelet up, which I'm going to do now. Otherwise, go back to where it says pattern repeat, and you can do a few more sections with me, okay? Well, your bracelet is long enough and you're back at your starting point right here with the 4 bands on your hook. You're simply going to grab another one of your base colored bands. And I always take the same color as the base color as where I ended, but it's totally up to you what color you use. It's the band that you're going to put your C-clip on. And you're simply pulling this one under the last 4 loops on your hook. All 4 of them. Close it up and then you can put your C-clip on here. And that's it. There we have it. The gorgeous, hopeful bracelet by Kim or Love in Looms. Well, that was it for today, my Looney Loomers. I hope you all had fun making this beautiful bracelet by Love in Looms. I really like the design. It's so easy to make, and I love designs where we fold over bands or drop bands over the edge. And you can really play around with the colors of this one a lot, so I really like that. Now, when you have made this bracelet and you post it on social media, please make sure to tag me and Kim in the pictures. Use the hashtags you see on your screen right now. I will also post them in the description box below. And if you do this, both me and Kim can check them out, and we'd love to do that. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel with the button you see right here. Come find me on Instagram too for more of my content and creations. The link is in the description box below. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to message me here on Facebook or on Instagram. You're always welcome with me, I promise. And should you have made a design you want me to make a tutorial for, please feel free to contact me on Instagram, Facebook or here. Send me some pictures if you can, so I can have a look and we can see if I can make a tutorial for you as well. So stay tuned, turn your notifications on for more of my designs and tutorials coming up. Stay colorful, stay creative, and most of all, stay loony. That's all, folks.